Okay, well, it flashed another screen on there, so hopefully it's gonna be fine. Good morning, everybody. I on my phone today because my Zoom was not working. So hopefully this will be good. Okay, let me pull up Facebook here so that I can see the comments and that stuff. Let me see here. Let me move this a little bit out of the way here. Move this a little bit so I can have a little better view of my computer screen. There we go. All right. Oh, yeah, get off. Yeah, slow computer, and I don't know what's going on. It's technology, and we're on fiber, and so I don't know why it tells me I'll have a slow connection. Anyway, good morning, everybody. My name is I'm gonna have my coffee. My name is Marti Forrest, and I get to come here on Mimi's page, Spiritual Empath, and share with you every week on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. So that is super, super cool and super exciting, and I have loved every time I get to be here. I love being able to come and share with you. And I'm pulling up the page. So I have a page, Marti Forrest. It's a public page that I will post these on. It's also here, these videos. And then I have a private group that I'll come in and do other lives all around being empathic, all around accessing your tools and being the most empowered empath. Mastering, right? It's all about mastering our energies. So mastering our energies. So I'm seeing comments, and I see comments showing up, but I can't see. Good morning. All right. It's finally showing me Indy's here. Good morning, friends. I like that. That works too. All right. So that closed group, I don't know what the hell's with my computer. So I'm going to just see if I can get this on the, it's not even showing any of this here. But I'm seeing comments, elitist comments anyway. That's what I have so far. So hopefully my computer will come up and I can actually see. Nonetheless, this works, and I'm here, and I'm excited to be here talking about projection. Somebody actually requested that. I think it was you, Miss Alita, talking about projection, and it was based on, I believe, a post about how people project onto us, and then we take it personal. All right, I see it. Hold on a second. Let me get it up here. Let me make sure I'm muted. No, that's not what I wanted. That's not how I wanted it. Anyway, we're talking about projection and what that means. What does that look like? How do we project? How are we projected upon? How do people project upon us and then we take it all personal? So projection is really like how I see the world, I will project onto you. How I see myself, I will project onto you. So if you're here, I can't see that anybody's here. So I love it. Mr. Sun is very bright. Yes. I love it. Yeah, the sun, we're finally, I think, through the rains now, and of course moving into the heat as we go into ceremony next week. We'll be out in it. Yeah. Okay. Let me stay on point here. So, projecting how we view the world is how we see it, how we see ourselves. How I view you is how I see me. Some version of me. For instance, I had a person I was working with, and they were really in their head and really angry. And they were like, I think I just want to be angry. And I was like, well, there's nowhere for me to go then. How can I help? How can I bring things to that person if they're simply in their anger space? I got to do some writing. You might have read this. I got to do some writing about it and see that definitely me. no, I've known this person a long time, and it's where I came from. It's how I've been most of my life. Angry, in my head all the time, trying to figure things out, being mad that's not going my way. So I totally saw me. I didn't project that onto her. She projected onto me, but I could see the reflection. Because that's who I've been a lot of my life. So based on our experience, based on how we were raised, our view of the world, our parents' view of the world, or our caretakers' view of the world, how did they view the world? Because that's, I'll look through, most of my life was through criticism. Never good enough, all that stuff. And that's how I viewed the world. That's how I view people. Judged to the nth degree. And then when I begin to look, I see that it's me. That's how I view me. And I project it out there onto them. So those people that, if you've ever been in this experience where someone's having an affair, you ever been in that experience? Someone's having an affair and they're projecting it onto you and blaming you and pointing the finger at you because they're the one that's guilty. Clear projection, right? So there's different ways that this happens. That's because likely the person that they're projecting onto is not the cheater. But it distracts people, distracts that person from seeing. Sometimes. People will always project onto others how they see the world and how they see themselves. So when someone is very angry and they're projecting that onto you, and maybe they're screaming and yelling at you for no apparent clear-cut reason, over the top, and it's happened to me, and I was totally dumbfounded. I'm like, what just happened? They're projecting all their anger, all their stuff, because I touched something for them. But I've also been that person. When we can see most people, probably all people, are acting out of their own wounding. They're viewing the world out of their own perspective and how they've been taught. And then we can stop taking all that personal. It's not about me. I met someone the other day. I took my husband's truck to get the Freon filled up, and my husband said, how was he? And I said, he's Eeyore. He's just really, just kind of do. Big victim. Life's happening to me. I have cancer. And I was like, ugh. Like this, just because we're so sensitive, I just felt that heaviness. And I've been that too. I've been that Eeyore person. Life is a problem. Everything's out to get me. I have these things or these accidents or whatever. So you see how everything's a projection of me. It's all inside of me. What if we just come at the world as children? Children who are curious and in the space of discovery. What would that be like? If we simply show up just curious, being fully present. That's what that takes, is us being fully present. To view the world through eyes of curiosity. Hi, is it Tasha? Is that how I say it? I am well. I am well. How are you doing? Where are you? Thank you very much. God bless everyone. Yes. She said God morning, so it was good. We began that way. Someone else said that. So if the world's good, you ever meet those people? They're just kind of, like we call them like Pollyanna, totally judgment. But hi, Sandy. Good morning. You see them just happy all the time, and the world's great, and they're very naive, and they believe the best of everybody. I had a friend that did that, and Bismarck, North Dakota, Netherlands. You can tell my geography is just grand. And she was with someone and she just loved him, And she would show up and she would do these things, and I started to see the signs. I'm like, God bless us. Hi, Will. Good morning. That he was using her. He might care about her, but he was using her. And because of how she just views the world through the space of love, it didn't occur to her. She couldn't see it. So, and some of that's a beautiful place to be. And yet, how many of us have fallen into those places of being in narcissistic relationships because we were so charmed and we were so swept off our feet and love bombed, and it was just all the things that we wanted to feel and hear from them. And then we're in this relationship that's not so good for us because of how we viewed it. It's important that we then take a look at, what are my beliefs? What about me attracted this person? Being bright light in the world? Because we're like a magnet for those kind of people. And if we believe it's our job to fix, save, rescue people, we will always attract those, not always, we will attract those kind of people. Scratch that word always. We will attract those kind of people. Because we see them as broken. Because we feel broken. So it's me. I felt broken. I saw people as broken. I'm going to fix them. I can't fix me, so I'm going to fix you. That was my belief. I didn't know that at the time it was happening until I started to see how codependent I was. Mimics codependency and empathic. Very, very similar. So I knew that. I could see that. Empath was not a word in the vocabulary growing up, so I knew I was codependent. And then I learned later that I was empathic. I'm like, oh, okay. This explains a lot for me in my life and how I perceive the world. People will always project. And it's two sides. It's not just the crap. But they'll always project how they view, how they feel. Hi, Lori. This happened to me. Hold on. Let me see if I can. It's on my computer. Let me look at my computer. Doggone it. This just happened to me, and I was betrayed in the relationship. I look at the relationship with 100% accountability, and I was able to see all the ways I was betraying myself. Every time I said yes when I wanted to say no, oh my gosh, yes. It was an incredibly beautiful lesson, and I felt the shift as soon as I was able to see how I was creating it. Oh, amen, sister. Yes. When we can see how we are creating it, it's coming from us. It's so important. If you take this one thing away, how is it for me and how is it coming from me? Because I'm creating this, and I'm creating it for my highest good. Like, so your gift and all that was seeing, right? Being able to see. I created this. And knowing that I can also create something else. See how powerful that is? That empowers us. When I know that I'm creating my world and my life, my reality, from where I perceive things, then I can shift it. I can create something new. It takes a little bit, because we're unlearning and what's the word? We're shifting the beliefs, those limiting beliefs that keep us in a place that we are. When I'm projecting, I'm also very judgy. I'm incredibly judgmental. Because that's what I do to me. Are you getting this? Like, it's all us. It's all me. It's all you. What I do to another, I do to me. What I do to me, I do to another. That's it in a nutshell. Sometimes we get to see how far we've grown. Like this person I was sharing about just being so angry and so in their head. I've been that. I still can be that. Not all gone. It's significantly different today. But in the moment, I was slightly frustrated because I felt like right, all about me, I was not being effective. It had nothing to do with me. This was her journey, not mine. I get to walk with her. And then when I sat down to write it out, I'm like, oh, holy cow, that's me. That's where I came from. That's how I've been most of my entire life. Angry. What was interesting, as I'd asked Spirit to give me a sign, I love this because I felt in my gut the relationship was not aligned. I instantly was shown the betrayal, like seriously, 30 seconds later after asking for the clarity. I love when that happens, although it can feel not very good. 30 seconds later after asking for clarity, I had a choice in that minute to see it and then what I was going to choose. That's so beautiful. I left the relationship even though a week before that I felt like he was the love of my life. My lesson in all of this is that I am my only true love. Yes, you are. I'm not angry or hurting at all. It's been a beautiful shift. Ah, that's so sweet. So sweet. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. I love when this happens because it's so important. And hold on, Sandy, I'll get to that. We get so hard on ourselves. How did I do this again? Why did I end up here again? And, you know, if you really want to see, that's a perfect way to do it. Show me the evidence. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you want to see, ask the universe, ask Spirit, ask God, whatever you call that, to show you the evidence. I'm driving home one night, pondering, am I on the right path? So it seems silly now to look back and go, am I on the right path? Because this is definitely my zone of genius. And I was I don't know, I was frustrated contemplating something, and this is where I'm really supposed to be. Anyway, like 5 seconds later, there were like 3 deer on the side of the road. Nature, animals, all that's my sign. Like, it was very quick. All right, Lisa, what was interesting as I'd asked Spirit to give me a sign, because I felt, oh, no, wait a second, that's Lori. Hold on, let me get down here. Sandy, it's hard to break that cycle. You know, it's not good for all parties involved. The key is learning how to break that cycle and not lose yourself in the same time. I struggle with this all the time. It's a learning process. It's hard to break that cycle. You know, it's not good for all parties involved. The key is learning how to break that cycle and not lose yourself at the same time. Right. Yes. How to reread that. When whatever's in your best interest, this is a blanket statement. If it's in your best interest, if it's in my best interest, it's also in theirs. They might not see it. They might not like it. They might not like the change. But like Lori was saying, that as soon as she saw that, she was like, what's the choice? And she made the choice to leave. And the shift was instant. So if it's in your best interest, if it's in your highest and best good, it is in everybody else's too. Because if we aren't honoring that, we're going to keep compromising ourselves. When we are honoring that, we're going to stay true to ourselves. And not everyone's going to like our decisions. It's not their business. Sounds harsh. But truly, it's you. You are the love of your life, as Lori was saying. I am the love of my life. I am going to honor me no matter what. But that is practice. It's a practice because we're so conditioned and we've been so taught so many things about how we're supposed to be or how we're supposed to show up, how we're supposed to nurture the others and think about them first, you know, all that dialogue. I learned so much from you. You're so organic and that we can understand what is going on with us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alita. And your transparency of your own experience is so helpful as well. Good. That's why I share it. Remove people who are asking, please being bombarded. I'm not sure what you mean. Aaron, I don't know what that means. So it's getting clear what's in my best interest. My hair's very wet, so it's kind of like hanging in my face. It's very clear. So asking the universe to show you evidence. I used to say, give me a 2x4. Bring a very, very clear answer. Let me make no mistake about it, because I will mind fuck myself and I will dismiss it instantly. I will override it when it's shown right there in my face. I don't do that today. But for a lot of my life I did. The evidence was so freaking clear. I'm like, no, that can't be the answer. I had a friend we used to do sessions together, and she one day was like, you know the answer about my second marriage. You know the answer. I'm like, no, that can't be the answer. I'm a failure. I just go to that place. And I left and I called her. I'm like, that just can't be the answer. Just can't be the answer. Well, of course it's the answer. I didn't want the answer. Because of all the things I made it mean about me, right? All the things I project onto me. I project out there. There used to be questions, I haven't seen them in a long time, but how do you view the world? Is the world... Thank you. Thanks, Maya. I love my background too. Thank you. Thank you. How do you view the world? Is it a safe place? Is it a harsh place? Is it out to get you? Is it a beautiful world? Is it all of that? Most of us, I'll say the most of us, have never felt safe. And not 100% of the time. We might have glimpses where we felt safe. Is there a way to protect yourself from the negative energies? Yes. That's the very short answer. Yes, there is, of course. And that is to become so positive you just don't see them. I've read this recently. So when I'm looking at the world and I'm like, oh, I have to protect myself, that means I feel unsafe. And that doesn't mean that there aren't things out there. I am not saying that at all. How I do that for myself, because I used to do the whole bubble thing, but as long as I'm focusing on the things that I think are negative, I'm attracting that. I'm drawing it in because I'm projecting out there this world is not safe and I need to protect myself from those dark energies. Does that make sense? Are they out there? Yes. Thank you. Oh, they're over here. They're not on my screen. The little emojis. Thank you for that. They're on my computer. Because I had the same thing. I did the same thing. This is not from a place of judgment. I share this from my own experience. Because I did that exact thing. There's all these negative people. There's narcissism. They're all attracted to me. They come in and they suck my energy. And then I leave depleted and I'm exhausted and blah. Thank you. Thank you. Right? And so I had all that because I was that. Do you see that whole, I'm projecting that out there because the world's not safe. They're out to get me. They're going to bring all their energy and their shit to me and I'm going to be exhausted and depleted. And I had those people in my life. 100% had those people in my life. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I want to just acknowledge that. Thank you so much. I absolutely had those people in my life because that's where I was at. Well, how is it for me then? How is this for me? Ask yourself the question, how is this for me? How are these people that are depleting me and exhausting me? That leaves me as a victim. How is it for me? How is it happening for me? How is it in my favor? How is it from me? What is the gift? It's for me to release, dissolve, change, all the shit that goes on in my head, all the mental masturbation, all the mind fucking that I do to myself. I can laugh about it today, but I still go there. It still happens. I still sit in judgment. I still look at things, ooh, I don't like that. Sometimes I'm just feeling the energy. Okay, it doesn't feel good. Let's just shift that. I don't like it. Okay, let's shift it to that doesn't feel good. It's heavy, it's dense, it's thick. And you steer clear. Can you see that? Am I clear? I'm getting that I'm clear. I'm seeing the emojis. I appreciate that very much. My little girl just does the happy dance when she sees those. She loves them. So as long as I am, this is about creating safety for ourselves, for the children that live inside of us, the children that have lived with the trauma and that we keep betraying and we keep abandoning. Because we're trying to protect them. The ego's job is to protect. Well, it protects from a place of experience and history. Remember, the mind is only a historian. It's only from our experience. The same mind that got this stuff in my life is not going to get it out of my life. Thank you. Close my door if I forgot. It's not going to get out of my life. This that created it is not going to uncreate it. It's not going to, thank you. Good. Is not going to uncreate it. Now, we can reprogram. I'm not saying that. But it takes us coming from the heart. We are not meant to be servants of the mind. So we're learning, right? It's learning how to read the energy, trust ourselves, trust our intuition, listen to the heart. Listen to the soul and the intuition, because we've never been taught that. Not growing up, I was never taught that. I'll own that. I was never taught that. You had to figure out how the world worked. You're going to be afraid of the world. You had to work hard to earn your living. You had to work hard to earn your keep, or I had to work hard to earn having a nap or a time to rest. And then as soon as I would lay down and be still, oh wait, there's laundry to do. There's dishes to do. There's vacuuming. There's go do whatever. Right? Go find something else to do because you haven't earned it. You haven't done enough. That sound familiar to anyone? The difficult people in our lives, yes. I have found all my are my master teachers. When I lean into how it is for me, I am experiencing quantum shifts. Yes! You are a blessing and a light. Thank you for that. Thank you for showing your love. You're very welcome. I'm so grateful I get to be here and do this. Let us go in our hearts. Hi, Anne. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for all the likes. I grew up in a house that was hyper critical. There was, no matter what I did, it was never enough. And the things that I did right or good were never pointed out. It was always the stuff that I didn't do. Because that's how they were raised. Today, I don't blame them. Today, I can see that was for me to understand and to learn and to push me or drive me or help me move in the direction to understand that I came here to be love in the world. And I got to experience all the things that weren't that and that were that. They loved me the way that they knew how to love me. And their criticism was to help me be a better person. That not understanding that it's very denigrating, condescending, and just erodes our esteem. And it started when I was a baby. Started in the womb. Started from generations. So if you can take a look at why are you here? What's your big overarching goal? I'm here to be love in the world, and that takes many forms. Being here, sharing this is one of them. Showing up in the world in high vibration. So to your question, who asked me that? Was it Lisa? Going back. Oh, Sandy, sorry. I can't remember who asked the question. Shifting would be another superb topic. Of course it would. So how we protect as we become so high vibe and high frequency that we'll see it. We'll even feel it. Thank you for tagging people. We'll even feel it. we'll still feel the energy. We're that sensitive. We're going to feel it. That's not going to stop. There's some things. Okay, so we're going to feel it. We can let it roll off our back like a duck. Just let it move on. We automatically transmute whatever environment we're in. And we also learn how to not take on another's energy, nor let them plug in. Do you know what I mean by that? Like plugging in and just siphoning from energy from us. So there's still things I do in the way of clearing my energy, even though, thank you for that, even though I'm high vibe a lot of the time, when I'm not, I still will take it on. If I'm having a day or a moment. I like to wear lots of stones. I have lots of stones. My whole office, I have lots of crystals around. You can charge your crystals to amplify your energy. Pick stones that absorb negative. Your dark stones, your black stones. So that it's not... Oh, we gotta get them. So that it's not staying. So here's the thing. When we're... I'm listening here. When we're in a space of... Let's see. Let me go back further. When we're coming out of and we're growing in, coming out of what it was, the old, how we've been raised, the beliefs, all the stuff. And we're coming into being empowered as an empath, learning how to master our energy, learning how to love ourselves and take care of ourselves. There's this gap in between as we're shedding that stuff, coming into the new way of being in fifth dimension, which is that high vibe. We can be high vibe in 3, but we're shedding those old ways of being in that heavy, dense, thick carbon base, moving into crystalline base, which is a higher energy. That's why crystals will help us so much. That's why we're finding more and more of the Lemurians, seed crystals. So that's why the crystals will help us so much, because they're the ones that can be charged. If you want to amplify, you can charge it with protection if that's what works for you. It may work for you right now. To feel comfortable that you have a something to help amplify your energy. Do that. Do whatever makes you feel safe and makes you feel good. We're moving into this higher vibration, and the energy's pushing us, if you will, to release, dissolve the stuff that's not working. The beliefs, the behaviors, those things that are not serving us. They're not effective. Keep trying to do them. They're not going to work. Onyx is great. Black onyx is amazing. Yeah. Obsidian, black onyx, jet. That's what I can think of at the moment. Tektite. Moldavite. Moldavite is one of your rare, expensive stones. I saw a really cute necklace, a really beautiful necklace at heart. It was almost $300. And I'm sure it's probably maybe that size. I'm guessing it's probably smaller than that. But because it's such a rare stone, it's pretty expensive. Being love in the world. When I'm love, I also see shadow. Yes, of course. I also see my own shadow. Yes, crystal's also helping me. Very good. I love it, love it. Thanks for sharing that, Anne. Yes, we see the shadows, and we call it the shadow, right? It's that side that we don't want to look at and we don't want to own. Call it whatever you want. But as long as you're just owning it, it's going to keep showing up. Because the lighter we get, the more we're going to see that about ourselves, especially if we're not working through it. We must shine a light into it. We must shine a light into our subconscious mind where we carry that all the history of our life. that shows up in our behaviors and our beliefs, even if we don't remember how that happened. Izzy, I love Marty. This area of my growth is largely from the way she explains life's experience. Her knowledge and understanding of all my things resonates so well in me. We are not alone. Thank you, thank you. I tagged my friend Heather. I think she's here watching too. Awesome. Good morning, KB and Heather. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're all here. The energy today is really moving us. If you've been feeling it, it's been moving us out of the old. That's why we have so many symptoms. Flu-like, frequency-light upgrade symptoms. Flu, frequency, light, upgrade. That's the acronym. When we're being upgraded and we're still holding the old, or we're resisting, we have a lot of symptoms. We have a dense vibration where traumas and pain and wounding live. And when the high vibration comes in, shifting us, moving our energy into a higher state, it's meeting with a dense energy. Therefore, we have symptoms. It's okay. It's bringing it up to be cleared. So if whatever you're noticing showing up for you, trust that. It's showing up for you to clear it. Do whatever you need to do for you to live in a high vibe state. Creating new habits. Paying attention to the old habits. Paying attention to those little thoughts that might float through your mind that's pretty heavy or a very long standing belief. Unpack it. Look at it. That's how we start to notice and clear the shadow, the dark, the heavy, whatever you want to call it. But we must be willing to look. We don't have to live in it. We don't have to wallow in it. But we must be aware of it. And then you breathe. The deep, deep belly breath. And exhale out your mouth. Do that until you feel the energy shift. You're clearing trauma. You're becoming present. You're clearing energy. So if you're having a thought and an emotion and a memory, any one of those, something just pinged for you. Something just, you're like, where did that come from? Breathe. Allow yourself to feel. Deep, deep belly breath. Expanding, and as you expand, it does fill up here. And then exhale out in the mouth. This is just one technique. There's many techniques. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you. As long as we're up here, so when we've been traumatized, we've been wounded, we cry. We immediately tense, and it's all up here. It's all the top. What happens? Fight or flight. We live in fight or flight. We must learn how to do the breath work. Breath is life. We can live for days without food and water, but we can't live for more than 5 minutes without air. So take that breath. And if you can't breathe and that diaphragm isn't moving, lay on the ground. Lay on the ground with nothing under you. And practice taking that deep breath. You may have to help that diaphragm start to move because they get pushed up. It starts to soothe your nervous system. It gives us space to pause, to respond rather than reacting. And it helps that energy, whatever just got triggered, or whatever thought, or whatever feeling, it helps it move. And then it's the next thing. I remember I used to say, can I just relax for a while? Can we just stop and not do something for a while? It never happened. Sometimes it's just a day of solitude. But we're so hypersensitive as an empath and highly sensitive people. We just feel all the time. That's why we must have sacred spaces for ourselves. Questions? Anybody have questions about this? I'm going to look back through here and see. You told me something. What was it? Shifting, yes. Lou told me the name of my next book. What do you call it? Being in the... It was about transitioning, moving from the dense, thick, heavy energy into that light. So in that transition, he's like, your next book is about being in the transition. Something like that. I was like, you're welcome. Welcome. And I thought, oh yeah, because what was I talking about? I was talking about 3 to 5, and someone said, well, isn't there a 4? I said, yes, of course there's a 4, but that's like the gap in between when we're straddling. We're still jumping between 3 and 5, and we haven't quite released all of the 3 to move into 5. And it doesn't mean we don't exist here. We do. We do. We're still people. Our DNA is being... The things where they call the... How do I motivate to transition? I feel stuck. Oh. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Strolled, never an accident. I know there's never any accidents. So you're here to ask the exact question. I just strolled upon your life, need to be reminded to breathe. Yes, yes, yes. There's tons of things you can find on YouTube. That's one I've been doing consistently. The moment I feel a reaction or a trigger, or I just feel like I just need to like come into my body, I take that breath. And I might do it a few times. But it helps bring my energy back in, and it helps ground me. I feel stuck. You're not stuck. None of us are stuck. And I say that with all the love in the world. We're not stuck. Sometimes we're in this gap in between where we've been and where we're going. I think that's how to say it. So there's this place in between, calling that the gap. And when we're in that gap, it feels like, we used to call it the dark night of the soul, or limbo, those are all the things I called it. It's different. When I was in a dark night of the soul, it's so different than what I feel when I'm in this gap between shedding and dissolving the old way and moving into the new way. I don't know how to explain that any different. And if it comes, I'll share that for sure. But there's that place. So instead of calling it stuck, I'm in this space, and it's about being patient with yourself and allowing yourself to be where you are, rather than thinking that I should be over there because I'm stuck here. You're shedding, you're dissolving, you're releasing. And there's not usually motivation in that, because it just feels sucky. It's heavy, and it's like, bleh, I'm just Eeyore. I have felt this way for a while, and I came across this book that I've been reading, and I'm like, I am on fire. I'm just so freaking excited to play in this field of what I'm learning in this book called Quantum Jumping. Someone said the title, and I didn't let it go for a few days. So I knew that there was something around that. So I got the book. You can only find it in Kindle. Is it good to talk about stuff or not? Which stuff are we speaking of? Are you speaking of the trauma? Only if you're moving into solution? Only is relative. Yes, it's good to talk, but if you're just doing talk therapy, that's not going to move you out of the trauma. It's not going to help clear it. And I love to talk, because sometimes that's how I process, as long as I'm moving through and not wallowing in. Does that make sense? I've done a lot of talking. I share a lot of my experience. The power shift happening right now. Awesome. I love it. Love that. Yes, quantum jumping. I've been practicing it. I've been having I can't even tell you. I'm like, it's the first thing I have felt so excited about in a while. So yeah, I'm just like, ooh, I'm just lit up. Going back to the comments. I just strolled. Motivates transition. Yes. Now, yeah, K, can I call you K or is it KB? I'll honor whatever, however you like to be called. Listen to your words. It's for everybody. I'm not singling it out, just what you said though. Listen to your words. Are you really stuck? Or you just feel like you're in this quagmire of crap and you want out? So it's important. Tourmaline garlic is also great. Yes, it is. So it's important to just honor that. We're so used to going and moving and producing that we deny what's happening. Oh, I should be doing that. I should be more motivated. I should be going in that direction. Well, you are. You are. You are going in a direction. It just may not feel like it in the moment. And we're quick to slap a label on it. We're quick to slap the label of what's familiar and what we know. So there you go. So let go of the label. You're not stuck. You're transitioning. This is a transition. Yes. Just at a turtle piece, I need to accept it. Think about the turtle and the hare. And stop judging it. You're exactly where you need to be. And that's how you ended up here. Divine timing. Let yourself be at a turtle. It's really challenging for most of us to just let ourselves be turtles for a while. And turtles are, just go look up turtle. Go look up turtle medicine and that will help you a lot. Okay. Is it good to talk about stuff or not? I think that's what you're talking about. Thank you for the hearts. Okay. I'm going in deep into my subconscious and I'm not coming out until I find my joy. I feel like I have my energy under control. My blinkers are in. Oh yeah, my friend in Australia. Turn your blinkers in. I desire to heal every part of me I can and to know precisely where to turn when life lifes me. Yes, it is so cool to be able to work on this within myself and have been so in tune with my business. All the pieces coming together that help me on my journey. And I can soon give back to those who need what I have learned in certain seasons of my life. You are a rock, the breath through it. Thank you is awesome. Thank you. That's what I think it is. The gap, the in-between gap. Yes. You're in the wilderness, honey. Yes, the wilderness. I love that. Thank you for that. Use this time to search around inside of you. This is a break for you to reset. Yes. You get to renew your mind. Yes. The power shift happening right. I love that. Quantum jumping, tourmaline, and garlic are also great. I'm going back through the comments. Yes, turtle. I recommend Reiki healing. It has helped me a lot. I recommend any kind of energy healing and know who you're going to. Know who you're going to because you want to know what their energy is. You want to know what their energy is that they're helping you with. You don't want somebody else's crap. From experience. 3-second rule, wallowing or then we'll feel thank you. Stuck, progress over perfection. Slow and steady wins the race. Yes. Whew, thank you for that. Just came across, got to go scroll through all those. Yes. Yeah, we're really hard on ourselves because we're in a culture of producing, always we measure our worth by how much we do. As a kid, I was always going, but I was also always I was really good. I liked to be by myself as a kid, and we lived in the country, so I could just be still. I could be still. I could watch the ants. I could lay on the ground and watch the clouds, and I just loved that. Part of that is I didn't feel the pressure of being an adult. So if you had times like that when you were a kid to just be still. Remember that. Remember what it feels like. I used to stay up late and read a book because it was like the time that was quiet. And then I would, it's stay up till 11 or 12 and have to get up, go to school. You know, I grew up with that attitude of, yes, you are right. You need to know who you're going to. Yes. That attitude of whatever you did the night before, you're still responsible to get your ass out of bed and go to work or go to school or go and do whatever you had to do. So I would stay up late reading. And when I was drinking, I would stay out late drinking and come to work hungover or still drunk, because it didn't matter. You still had to show up. And the house raised. Now we're moving into a new way of slowing down, pausing, breathing, feeling, embodying, embracing. All those single words, simple and all together. Pause, breathe. When you have a feeling, pause and breathe into it. Feel it. We don't have to wallow in it, just feel it. It's all energy, it's all going to move. Embody it and embrace it. Allow yourself. Embracing means allowing yourself to feel what you feel and stop making yourself wrong for how you feel. It's a feeling. It's not a fact. How's that? It's a feeling, not a fact. It's such a weird place. It just flashed on. I have known things and people want evidence. How do you know that? I just know. But I don't trust that because we've never been taught to trust that. And so they would think I was making stuff up. But I was always right. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, we've covered a lot of stuff. Starting with projection, right? We project who we are into the world, onto the world, and into the world. It's a feeling, not a fact, yes. That's a whole other conversation. I'm not going to go there. Yes. So just remember to feel it. Just feel it. Feel it. Feel the energy of it. Where is it in your body? This is how we learn how to feel and embrace and embody it. Where is it in your body? Breathe into that space. If it's here in your heart space, breathe in. Take the deep breath, but imagine that it's going all right here, even though you're taking that deep belly breath. And then it's moving. Cut cords all the time. Inevitably, we're not going to not feel things, and we're not going to not take things on sometimes. Part of being human. Part of being an empathic human. Add those together. Empathic human. It's just a fact, right? That is a fact. We are going to feel it. We are going to take it on sometimes. So how we care for ourselves, cutting the cords, grounding, bringing your energy in, taking that breath, taking the time to pause. So if you're so busy all the time, what are you distracting yourself from? When we moved here, I moved here from California in September of 21. My husband in October went off on a fishing trip because that was already planned. So I was here by myself, and I spent I was so exhausted. I was unpacking, just on a mission to unpack because I couldn't stand it. And then I forced myself. I made myself sit still. Sit still. Oh, but I got it. And I would start to move to get up. No. Sit still. Oh, I had to. Nope. Sit still. It was so hard. It was so uncomfortable. Because I want to get up and distract. The minute any kind of feeling comes in, I want to go distract myself and do something else. So being with yourself. And if you haven't done any of your inner child stuff, go in a meditation and introduce yourself to your inner child. That's for another day. We can cover that at some point if you're interested in that. But go inside and meet that little child that lives within you. There's many of them. I've always said the inner child, but I was listening to someone recently and a few months ago, and he said they're inner children, and those children are yes, so hard to sit still. It is, but there are inner children that There are many children that are at some place where there was a wound or trauma that happened. And that was one of the ways I learned to look at that shadow, if you will, was to go in a meditation and see which one is showing up, which one is the issue, what's the issue about, what just got triggered. And there will be some version of me. One of them was a 10-year-old throwing a complete tantrum on the floor, screaming at me as the adult that I never listened to her. That was really powerful. Gotta go to work. Yes. Thank you for all your support. Of course. You're very, very welcome. We're close to wrapping anyway. Have a fabulous day. See you. I won't be here next week. Just heads up. I won't be here next week. I'm going to be off at Sundance ceremony, the Native American ceremony. It's part of my walk. So we'll leave on Friday morning early. Thank you for the turtle impulse. I just took a card from my turtle. Awesome. It's about freeing your spirit with goodness and being peaceful. Yes, being with yourself. Animals are so loving messengers. I love the animal messengers. We have turtles here. I've seen a couple snakes. Yeah, the animals are always really great messengers. So if you see one that keeps crossing your path, just go look it up. Thank you very much. Is there anything else around? The inner children. Let me wrap that up, and then we'll call it a day. It's been fabulous. So dealing with those children, I have one that's like the spokesperson. This is my experience, right? It may be different for you, but I loved that concept, and when I tap into that, I can see how it's true for me of the different children at different places that have been wounded. And then I have one that's like a spokesperson for the group of us. So it's pretty amazing. It's one at a time. We try to get it all done at once. It just take your time. There's time. Take your time. Lean into the journey. Enjoy the journey. Even when it sucks. And it feels terrible and it's uncomfortable. This too shall pass. And how is it for me? Because the universe is always in my favor. How is it happening for me? And how is it happening from me? In other words, how am I creating it? Because there's always a bigger purpose. Okay, we'll wrap that. Call that part complete. Yes, I will be in, not too far from here. That's why we moved to Oklahoma. And so we'll be a couple hours away, taking care of the people. Sybil was so misunderstood. Right. Oh, gosh, yes. Yes, she was. All right, lovelies. If you would like to have so when I get back, we can schedule something. If you would like to do a complimentary little 15-minute call, if you have a question that's burning for you and you want to ask any question, you can direct message me the question. Somebody actually did that. It was kind of cool. I really loved doing that. Or you want to have a conversation where we can connect a little deeper, you have that. If you would like to do a whole hour session, those are still available. And then I'm on to something new, because through this quantum jumping, I have gotten some really clear directions. So I'm super excited about that. But if you want to do a one-on-one, today's Wednesday, so it would be when I get back. We're packing up tomorrow, so. That is $199 if you want to do a one-on session. All right, lovelies. You can also join my group, Empathic Superpower. I'm going to do more in there. I may do one tomorrow before I leave. And then I'll be back in there when I get back. Give me answers before I can figure out how to ask the question. Yes! I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm very, very grateful that I get to spend this time sharing with you and interacting, educating, teaching, all those things. I am truly, truly blessed. So have a beautiful couple of weeks. I will see you on, I don't know what the date is. Is there 26th, somewhere around there? So 2 weeks from today, I'll be back here 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So have a beautiful week. You'll all be in my prayers. I love you. Take good care. Namaste.